Hey, it's Soul with another episode of Casual Gold. I'm just going to get right to it and show you folks how to make gold with as little effort as possible. And by that, I'm not talking about the best farming spots or the best way to shuffle your professions from one thing to another. In fact, this is a guide for the non-farmer, the person who does not really care about professions. So I'm going to give you 5 things, and if you can commit to this, if you can maintain your discipline, then I can pretty much guarantee that you'll be able to earn enough gold to get a WoW token each and every month. Now keep in mind, of course, you do need to at least log into the game, but you don't exactly need to log in every day. I'm just going to assume that you do in this guide. And after this, I'm going to show you folks how to use TradeSkillMaster to sell all the extra crap that you have in your bags. And while you might not be able to make the maximum possible profit off of these things, at least you're getting rid of them. But I'll talk more on that later. So step 1 is the golden rule of making money in WoW or just anywhere in life, and that's to stop spending gold on stupid shit. Even if you're jonesing for that fancy transmog, even if you think that you're going to do so much better with that BOE trinket, even if you think that one battle pet might be going cheap on the auction house, and hey, maybe if you flip it, you might be able to make triple the profit, who cares? This guide is not for people who pay attention to the market. By not wasting gold on stupid stuff, you have more gold to spend on more important things, more obvious things like repair bills, maybe some consumables if that's your thing. And transmog should not be your thing. You probably don't have any idea how much money you've spent on transmog ever since the system kicked in. So just stop spending money wherever you can. You want your WoW token? This is what you gotta do. Next, pick up the Boon of the Blood Hunter. This is the shoulder enchant that'll randomly give you Blood of Sargeras every time you kill stuff. This is important because it almost literally gives you free stuff. Over in Dalaran, there's an NPC where you can trade Blood of Sargeras for all sorts of different stuff. As for what stuff, that's easy to figure out. Go to this link right here, and I'm going to put it in the description below. Choose your realm, and it'll literally tell you what you should trade your blood for in order to maximize your profit. Basically though, you want to trade in your blood for the most profitable thing, or if you happen to be an alchemist, and I'm going to assume that you're not, but you can craft potions of prolonged power because those turn out to be pretty profitable. Between blood you get from the shoulder enchant and whatever other content you're doing, whether they're world quests or dungeons or what have you, we'll pretend that you earn 10 blood a day. Based on potential profits, I'm actually going to round up and say that you can potentially earn 2,000 gold a day or 60,000 gold a month. Another thing to do is to get Bacon World Quest and to complete that world quest as much as you can. Cooking is a secondary profession, as in every character can learn it. In order to earn the Bacon World Quest, you've got to learn several different kinds of Legion recipes and turn them into the devil. Bacon is valuable. It's used for making the best raid feast, and with 725 and the Tomb of Sargeras raid coming out soon, it's gonna stay valuable. Assuming that you sell 5 bacon a day and it sells for a little over 200 gold each, you're looking at 1,000 gold a day or 30,000 gold a month. Of course, that has to sell in the auction house, and again, I'll get to a TSM tutorial later. Next, you want to invest in your Order Hall champions. It's definitely going to pay off though. If you're super lucky and you happen to have a bunch of legendary equipment that gives you gold on your champions, you can get up to 150 gold per world quest done. Under the assumption that you only ever do 1 emissary a day, that means you're going to get 600 gold per emissary or otherwise 18,000 gold a month. And I'm not even counting whatever gold you happen to get from the chest along with vendoring whatever crappy gear that's in the box. Again, investing in your Order Hall champions pays pretty big dividends in the form of the gold missions that you see on your mission table. Scoring a 200% mission chance equates to what's basically 2,000 gold per mission, or let's just assume that you get 2,000 gold a day, which goes to 60,000 gold a month. As you can see, the gold adds up. As long as you're not spending gold on stupid shit, the gold that you get from normal drops and selling junk should more than make up for whatever repairs that you have. So by following this alone, without any farming or anything crazy like that, you are well on your way to earning yourself a WoW token. For US realms, you're pretty much good to go. For EU and other folks, not so much, but you're getting there. More importantly, if you have an alt, just commit to the same kind of investment and you'll effectively double that gold. Alright, so I'm semi-live now, so you'll have to deal with the stutter. Sorry about that, folks. But anyway, when it comes to some of the steps that I had talked about with regards to selling this, like the bacon and whatever it is that you're going to be selling from trading in the Blood of Sargeras, you're going to need to sell some of these materials or some of these things in order to get the money off of it. And we're going to use TradeSkillMaster to use it because it's my favorite. I think it's really efficient, and once you have it all set up, it is really easy to automate things and just make things a lot easier for you. In other words, just very low effort for making money. So first off, you'll need to download TradeSkillMaster itself. First, you want to either go to maybe curse.com or use your Twitch application to install the add-on. But you'll also need to go to TradeSkillMaster.com. That's the website that you're seeing right here. you do in fact need to make an account, and as far as I've seen, I have not had any spam come in from TSM's people. For all I know, they sold my information, but oh well, I used a fake email anyway. But you could just use that to download the TradeSkillMaster desktop application onto your computer. And even though you might have some reservations about it, I can at least try to reassure you that I've been using this for a number of years, and I have not had a single problem with it. Once you do have an account set up and the application installed, just go back to this website here, go over to your application configuration, and go to realm selection right over here. From here, you can take a look at the realm data that you're getting. Now, this realm data, it allows you to get pretty much all of the auction information that is on your specific server or realm. From here, you just want to add whatever the heck your realm is. In this case, I have Bleeding Hollow, I have Sargeras, and I happen to have Storm Rage as well. But Bleeding Hollow is my guy. In order to add one, just choose your realm, or I'm sorry, choose your region. From there, choose whichever the heck realm that you have. I'll just do one for the fun of it. Hit Add Realm. And ta-da, it's there. That's pretty much it. And now we can go over to the desktop application itself. To be honest, there isn't a whole lot to the application. It just kind of runs in the background, although there are a couple things that I would suggest to make your life a little bit easier. If you go into the settings over here, you can have it run at startup, and I do recommend doing that in case you forget. For notifications, though, I personally find them to be really obnoxious, so I have all my notifications turned off. Oh, I do happen to uncheck the box to show confirmation on exit, so that way if I'm shutting down the computer, then I can easily, well, I don't have to worry about this thing getting in the way. And that's about it. Just leave everything else at default, and this thing will just quietly run in the background and leave your ass alone. And now to the game itself. I happen to be on Soladin on my main. He happens to have a whole hodgepodge of different kinds of stuff, so I think this will make for a decent example to work with. So to start working this whole TSM shindig, just type /TSM. That's going to show up this whole main menu right here. From here, we'll go, if you look towards the top, I don't have my cursor on, so I apologize. If you look towards the top in the upper left-hand corner, you see the 4 things. You see TSM features, options, groups, and operations. We're going to go to groups. Actually, we're going to go to options, and what I'm going to do, actually, sorry folks, I'm going to make a new profile really quick. I'll just call it profile. Hey. So I start with a blank slate, so I apologize for that. So anyway, we're going to groups, and we see pretty much nothing here. We're going to create a new group, and within this group is all the stuff that we're going to sell. So let's just call it new group. Now, before I go any further, this method of selling through TradeSkillMaster is extremely risky, as in you're not going to be able to maximize the potential profit that you're making from everything that you're going to sell. You're more than likely going to not exactly lose money, but you're just not going to make as much money as you possibly could. But again, this is a guide for people who just don't have the kind of time to do all the research or to log on all the time to reset prices or really be on top of it. This is just a way to just get by and try to make some extra gold with all this stuff that's been accumulating in your bags. And this applies to pretty much everything in your bags, even the grays that I happen to have in here for some strange reason. So anyway, this allows me to add whatever I like into a group, and within this group, this is what's going to be selling in the auction house. So I could, if I want, I can kind of curate the things that I want to get rid of. Like I don't care about ley blood or leystone ore. I don't really care about potions of prolonged power. And hey, maybe this pet that I don't really know anything about, I'll try to sell that. And hey, what are all these numbers on the side under the tooltips? I don't care. Again, this is a guide for people who just don't really care right now. Let's get rid of this golden carp. That's old stuff. Drayneck agility potions. What are these doing in here? So let's go ahead and add these. In fact, I'm just going to add everything, to be perfectly honest. So to add everything, just go to the filter right here, hit enter. It's going to highlight everything and just add it. We're going to add everything to it. I know this sounds crazy, but just see it to the end, folks. See it to the end. So let's go over here to operations. It's right next to items on this kind of upper left-hand corner. we see these different kinds of, these different pull down commands. We can auction, we can craft, we can mail, we can shop. We're not going to care about any of this stuff. We're just trying to sell stuff. So so over here where it says auction, we're going to click on create new operation. And this button will create a new operation for this module, for this group that we have. We're going to name it whatever. I'm literally going to name it whatever. I hit enter and it says, hey, would I like to add this new operation to the new group? Yes, I do. So for here, we're going to go over to posts, and we're going to set up the settings for all this stuff that we're going to sell. And this is very important. Now you can change this to whatever you like, but I'm only going with an example that I'm just kind of making up as we go. So I'm going to set this from a 24 to a 12-hour auction. This stuff is only going to be posted for 12 hours or so at a time. I'm going to have a post cap of 5, as in I'm going to post a maximum of 5 auctions of the same thing. I'm also going to do a stack size of 5. So let's say we have like the lay blood. Maybe I have a whole bunch of lay blood, but I don't want to sell all of it at once. I just want to try to sell a little bit of it, and that's important from a slightly more advanced auctioning standpoint. You don't want to blow everything in one go. You can possibly make a little bit more money, but at the same time, all of this is going to be automated, so we don't have to worry too much. We're going to click this allow partial stack because I might have 23 lay blood to sell. So I want to at least have every auction going, or even if I'm selling 3 lay blood, cool, that's fair game. Keep quantity, I'm going to leave that alone. Max expires, going to leave that alone as well. The bid percentage, we're also going to leave alone. The undercut amounts, we'll leave that alone too. Here's where things are pretty important. The minimum price, the maximum price, and the normal price. From here, we're going to use a special script that normally I'm very averse to using because I myself, I like to have a lot of control over my prices, and I don't like to let an add-on entirely dictate what it is that I'm going to sell for what amount. In this case, though, we are definitely going to do that. So this is all for the sake of making things easy. So we're going to use a string called db market. And db market is the average price that we sell, the average price that is posted on the auction house. So let's go back to lay blood. Let's say there's like 10 different auctions going for lay blood. Half of them are going for 50 gold. The other half are going for, I don't know, 10 gold. So from there, the average price is going to meet somewhere in the middle. And so we're going to post at that price. Well, not exactly at that price. We're going to set our minimum price pretty low. We're going to set it to, let's say, 60%, and we need to type this in just as is right here, 60% space db market, and then hit enter to lock that in. For our maximum price, we're going to get a little bit closer to what the average price is, but we want to get, at least for me, I want to kind of get rid of this stuff pretty quickly. So I'm going to go with 90% db market. And you can change this percentage to whatever you like. You can set it to 110% or even higher, but of course, you have a much less likelihood of selling these particular items if you have it set higher than the average price. For the normal price, I'll also set this to 90% db market. And with the normal price, I can set this a little bit higher. What the normal price is let's say, again with lay blood, let's say that no one is selling lay blood at the moment. What happens when it doesn't sell? What should I do? So in this case, I'm going to set it to 90% of the database market, because it's going to look at historical pricing too and how much lay blood did sell for at some point. That's the beauty of the add-on. And these whole minimum things, we're going to leave this alone. So to kind of round back, and I'm gonna go back to these groups right here in the upper left hand corner, and take a look at our new group. This is our new group, and this is all of our random stuff. Now of course, notice if we see things like, there are things that there are great items in here. There's marks of honors that don't really sell on the auction house, so don't worry about that. It's not going to cause any sort of error message or anything like that. It's just not going to show up. So let's go to our auction guy, girl, robot, and I'll get this thing out of the way. Sorry, this is kind of an add-on conflict there. And when we're going to go to auctioning right down here in the kind of on these lower tabs, we see our new group right here, and this has to do with, hey, this is the group that we use to sell stuff, and you can have, of course, you can have multiple groups, but in this case, for simplicity's sake, we only have one. So we're going to start post scan. We're going to click right here. We're going to see what happens. I'm going to time lapse this, and I'll be right back. All right, so we're back, and right now we have TradeSkillMaster pretty much showing us everything that is sellable and how much it's selling for. You can see right here there's this post button that I'm kind of hovering my mouse over. This will let me start selling everything from here on down. Oh, let me back out of that. From here on down. So let's take a look. So we have things that, at least in my opinion, I probably don't really want to sell. So like, for example, Codex of the Tranquil Mind, it's something that I do use with my raids. Hey, cool, I can sell it for 533 gold. By the way, I just left click on these in order to look at all the different auctions that are going for this particular item. So we see that someone's selling it for as low as 533 gold. This is 75% of DB market, and right now our minimum selling price is at 60. So we're okay, we can sell, and it looks like it'll make some decent money. Cool, so I can sell that if I wanted to. Let's take a look at this auto hammer though. This, as we can see here, it says that under the info header that it's the cheapest auction below minimum price, and this will not sell. This will not be posted onto the auction house. Let's take a look at why. We'll click this. Inside the auto hammer, we see that most everything is going for well under the DB market price, and in fact the cheapest auction is under 60%, so I will not sell at that price. And this is important. This is a way to protect ourselves from ourselves, to be honest. This is a way to prevent us from selling something for way too low, like or selling it, or possibly punching in a typo when we're inputting our price, our sell price. Let's take a look at some others though. So let's take a look at Lay Blood. So Lay Blood, it looks like that has dipped just under 50% of DB market price, and this 60% is what I probably could have sold it for, but I'm not going to, or at least the add-on's not going to let me. It's gonna skip this over. Let's see this pet scraps that I got earlier today. This is a good example. So we can see that there are some really ridiculous prices that are going. We see one that's going for 4,000 gold, which is 461% of the average price. That's pretty crazy. But we also see someone trying to wildly undercut it as well. We have someone that's selling it for only 200 gold. I could buy this and flip this, but well, I shouldn't be spending gold on stupid shit anyway. Why try to flip when I'm not really on top of the market? I don't really, I could look into the history of this particular pet and see what I can do to maximize it, but I don't have that kind of time. I just want to get rid of stuff, and the add-on is telling me that it is not the time to get rid of stuff because this guy is ruining everything. He's a terrorist, by the way. Someone should call about him. Let's take a look at just a couple more. Let's take a look at this golden carp, this old Mr. Pandaria cooking thing, and well, no one's selling it right now. As you can see, I can possibly post it for 1 gold and 41 silver because that was the latest historical price that was seen. And again, the add-on does hold this kind of information. This 5 of War, I think this is a more recent. I think this is a Warlords of Draenor. Warlords of Draenor thing. Again, this is not selling. You can see because where it says seller here, this is the current seller that is selling the cheapest auction, the person that we're going to undercut, but there is none. So the average price that I would post it for is 229 gold. For some reason, someone had posted a gray up here. I don't know why, but they did. good for them, I guess. And meanwhile, for some reason, this hammer right here, this is something from a blacksmithing quest, it has an average price of, goodness, 30 grand. Okay, that's obviously not going to sell. A good chunk of these I either won't sell or shouldn't be selling, and I should edit my groups. But if I was ready, I can just hit the post button and it'll post whatever the heck auction or whatever the heck item that I had posted. So I'm going to open TSM back up, and I'll just show you folks once again that, you know, if you want, you can add and remove whatever you like. So when it comes to this whole idea that I have of making gold as casually and as easily as possible without having to go through the trouble of farming or having to study the markets, using add-ons such as TradeSkillMaster do lend a lot of help. They take a lot of the thinking out of it, but there are also smart ways to use TSM, such as using the DB market pricing in order to protect yourself from yourself. So, you know, a normal person might be posting, they might post Labla, they might post just reagents, certain important things. Maybe they'll do this pets right here. Of course, I'll do these unbroken claws and twos because that isn't worth crap anyway. And, to be honest, I probably should just vendor this stuff. But then I might run into old materials. I might run into old content, old cooking materials, for example, like this golden carp. And if I do, and I'm not sure how much it's going to sell for, hey, you know what? TSM can kind of decide it for me. And that pretty much kind of does that sort of wraps things up. So I'm hoping that, following these steps and maybe following this optional, risky, kind of crazy step will help you folks get towards getting a WoW token every month. I have my own methods of doing it, but this, to be honest, is something that anyone can do. You don't need to farm. You don't need to have, 10 alts with 10 different professions and shuffling things around. I mean, if you do have them, great, because that gets you millions and millions of gold every month or so. But that's not everybody. Maybe that's not you. And for you folks at home, maybe these methods will work. So leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you want more of this sort of stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Soul. Stay breezy, guys.